y'all. We are in hip-hop's sassy era. We are in the sassy era, the Chatty Patty era of hip-hop. And the man that coined the term, Dame Dash, is right in the middle of all this chatty pattiness going on. But before we get into it, welcome everybody. Thank y'all for joining. Man, I've been saying for a long time, and my words keep getting proven true, and that is hip-hop, the class that came in post Biggie and Pac, that 1996 class and up, with a few exceptions here and there, of course, like always. Just like there's some exceptions now. But overall, that class was trash. The shiny suit era, the I got more holes in clothes era, the we not even gonna change the sample, we're just gonna loop 2 bars of this song and not even do nothing musically to make the beat more interesting era. That era was trash. I know because I was there. I was in high school. And I thought that they was trash then too. I was 16 years old listening to this shit like, this is trash. So now the shiny suit niggas is in their 50s. And they arguing. You got the Jim Joneses, the Camerons, going at Dame Dash, and Cameron that's some fuck shit Cameron going after Big Un. What's up? I'm gonna start calling y'all the NYNs. What's up with New York? It's a lot of YN behavior coming out of New York. How Cameron can go at Un and Dame Dash? 2 niggas that we never would have known about you for had it not been for these 2 people. You got Jim Jones going at Nas for no goddamn reason. You got Cardi B in court. Album just flopping like a dead fish. Then you got the young thug dude down in Atlanta doing all the chatty pattiness. Just chat. I don't like him. He didn't put me on. Who has Andre 3000 put on? Who has Kendrick put on? Man, don't no real man cry about nobody putting nobody on nothing. Nigga, I'm telling y'all like Freeze Love told me. Man, don't run around. When I first started comedy, man, don't run around in the industry looking to be put on. The only thing you can get put on is a dick. It's the only thing you can be put on. Niggas looking to ride somebody else's Johnson. Crying. He didn't do it. All this bullshit is a result of the non-artists. The people who are the mediocre. I said not non-artists. The mediocre artists that started to really flood the music industry post mid-90s. Post mid-90s, the industry, both R&B and hip-hop, just got flooded with mediocrity. Meanwhile, the pre-96 side that don't get enough attention, I just really got into Sean Stockman's podcast from Boys to Men. And that brother really talks music. But he has true talent. You know, the people that come from the era when I used to love when Scarface and Willie D had their podcast. Too bad they fell out. But they really did talk some good shit. Big Gip. I wish Big Gip had his own podcast. Big Gip, that pre-96 era. Talk that real shit. The shiny suit niggas is 50-year-old YNs. So with that being said, thank you, chat room, for joining. Salute to all y'all. what we gonna do. I appreciate y'all. I'm about to bring my reading. I've been, for those of you who want to report, I've just been having some issues on my website getting my reports out. That's why I've been advertising them. But once my reports are up on my website, we're gonna have some. It's gonna be some pricing changes. Actually, they're gonna be a little bit cheaper because it's gonna require less work for me to do. So they're gonna be a slightly cheaper. I guess I save on costs. I pass it on to y'all. Just giving y'all a quick update. Also, I put up a post on this page. I'm updating my Black American music family tree. I already got about 20 new genres I'm putting on there, but I want to know what genre, because every genre that I have around, I'm not going to be able to fit on the tree. So I want to know what you guys are listening to. If you guys, of course, Southern Soul is going to go on the tree. That's not already on there. I'm gonna put Afro pop on the tree. It's a lot of genres I'm adding to the tree. But I want to know what you guys are listening to, because if I have a choice between one or two, I'm going to stick with the one that you guys are listening to. If I have to X something else off, for space, because I can't. Black Americans, we're responsible for so many genres. It all can't fit on a tree. But I do want to update this tree. So hit that post up I put in the community section. What are you listening to? What genres you listening to? And it'll help me decide which ones I'm going to add to the tree, which ones I'm going to leave off. All right. So yeah, we doing this right now. I got a super chat before we get started. Said Jordan never said ain't no party like a Diddy party. I never supported a rapper in a dress. Hey. So that's what we doing. That's what we doing. That's what we doing here. Somebody say I'm putting tariffs on them car readings. Hell yeah, motherfucker. My readings ain't cheap because my time ain't cheap. Xavier Lowe. Just because you like male prostituting for the low, $25 for a ride in the back of your Cadillac, I'm not like that. My time don't come cheap. I have a lot that I'm doing right now. And if you ain't serious about getting read, I don't want you as a client. I like talking to people who want this, who's going to do something with it. And if you got a problem with it, you can fuck off. All right. So let's get into it. Y'all see this dude right here, Chatty Patty Thug. This is what made me think about this topic today. This is what made me think about this topic. Also, before I get started, Patreon. We got to show up on Patreon right now on the bridge and the importance of the bridge and the music, really breaking and explaining it. We have a new class up that I put up last week, a one-day class on the history of the blues, how the blues became hip-hop. I got slides. I put some work into that. So go, if you're interested, go on my Patreon and look at the class, how the blues became hip-hop. Go look that up. All right. So that's real talk for this people. Once you understand the mathematics behind the cards, you will know. It's all math. And let me know if y'all want me to do another class teaching cards. I'll do one if y'all want. But here we are in the sassy era of hip hop. And why is my shit freezing? Is my shit freezing, y'all? Is my shit freezing? Let me know. Let me know if my shit's freezing. Cause on my end, it's kind of sputtering. Okay, y'all good? Okay, cool. You know, my end it was sputtering a little bit. All right, cool. So here we are. So let's go to the video that I'm talking about. I want you guys to listen to Young Thug and what he has to say. Similar to what he was saying about Kendrick, about not being put on, and he was going at Glorilla, going at a woman. Just straight up beta bullshit. But listen.
J. Cole do a song with him.
Wait, let me go back.
Him. In the world on YouTube, why wouldn't J. Cole do a song with him?
Why wouldn't J. Cole do a song with him?
That's true.
Like, come on, bro. You ain't never in your life sold more record than this boy, this young nigga. Fuck is you thinking? Like, tripping. Niggas just be on that. Oh, I don't like your music, or I ain't doing no music with you. Man, nigga don't like y'all nigga music neither. Nigga don't really like that shit you come out. That shit y'all niggas come out. Nigga just want to do songs. Nigga just want, like, the game we in. Like, it ain't no, oh, the Atlanta Falcons ain't playing Miami Dolphins because they don't like the Dolphins. Man, we playing everybody. It's the sport we in.
Yeah.
Andre 3000, you one of the biggest artists in the world. You became one of the biggest artists in the world. But you ain't helped nobody. You ain't put nobody on. Now you vintage. Now you goddamn can't put out a song and go top 50. You see what I'm saying? You put a song out right now, you can't even go top 50.
Yeah.
But you the big artist in the entire world at one point. But you ain't put nobody on though. You ain't did that. Ain't no nigga saying they got a career off of you.
See that right there? That's the point I want to address. He's mad at 3000 for not putting nobody else on. He said the same thing about Kendrick. He was saying Kendrick don't put nobody on. And I was thinking like Kendrick first off, he has put a lot of people on. Kendrick, he's put a lot of what I like about Kendrick is he's put a lot of my favorite jazz musicians on. Terrence Martin, Kamasi, those guys. Robert Glasper. Kendrick Thundercat, he put on a lot of alternative musicians, jazz and alternative musicians. Flying Lotus. Put a lot of people on. But say he didn't. Look, as a man, the only person responsible for putting you on is you. I want to talk to my young cats out there because this is the kind of leadership they throw out. This is what they've been throwing out to us. Listen to this whole ass mentality this guy has. If this is how the guy thinks in private, you don't think that mindset goes into the songs that he writes? That don't go into the music he writes? A grown ass man put somebody on. He ain't put me on. I need to get put on. And you ain't nothing if you didn't put nobody on. Listen here. You born into this world alone, you die alone. And in between that, you have some experiences with people, some experiences short, some experiences long. But it ain't nobody's job to put you on. But this is that typical, this is why, again, his name is what? Young Thug? This is why, like when Needy Footer says, stay away from other black people, this is what I mean. This is what he means. I don't, as pro-black as I am, as much as I love my people, and y'all know I love my people. But the fact of the matter is, I can't be around a lot of my people. People with that ghetto, ratchet ass, I need somebody else to do something for me attitude. I stay far, far, far away from you kind of niggas. I stay far from those type of cats. There's nothing you can do with people like that. nothing's ever going to be good. Nothing's ever going to be enough. It's always going to be what's next. These are the type of people that you can help 10 times, and if you don't help them the 11th time, they're going to go around everybody else and say you ain't shit. Chat room, am I lying? Chat room, am I lying? You got to watch out for these kind of cats. You got to watch out for these kind of cats. And these are the people that have been putting, that got pushed to the front of the line in music. Think about it for a moment. Let's go back to the 70s. In the 70s, and I don't want to criticize rap, because one thing I do like about hip hop is the fact that they do collaborate a whole lot. That's one thing I do. You know, in a lot of ways, hip hop is a lot like jazz in that way. In jazz, there was a lot of collaboration. Miles Davis with bringing on Coltrane, and then later on bringing up Herbie Hancock and Wayne Shorter. You know, you got Herbie Hancock now still bringing up the younger cats like Terrence Martin and those guys. You got, you know, Cannonball Adderley and what he's done over the decades with so many young jazz musicians. And so, in hip hop is a lot like jazz in the way that the best collaborate a lot. So don't take what I'm saying the wrong way when I say this. I admire hip hop for collaborating. But with that being said, our more popular music like funk, rhythm and blues, it wasn't nobody putting nobody on, hopping on nobody else's song. It wasn't no sampling. It wasn't no taking nobody else's line. If you wanted to be on, you had to outfunk the next band. And you couldn't sound like nobody. And you couldn't mumble. There was no putting nobody else on. When our music was at its highest, when our popular music was at its highest, at its zenith, it wasn't nobody going around saying, Curtis Mayfield didn't give me a scene, he didn't give me a feature. So Curtis Mayfield he could have put me on and he didn't. You didn't hear that shit. Wasn't nobody saying, Barry White selfish. Barry White gonna keep all that orchestration for himself. Man, with them string parts, you don't think I can sing that? You don't think I can sing that? You didn't see that shit? Who in the hell do Smokey Robinson think he is? Singing all them songs by himself. Smokey Robinson couldn't give me a 16. Jack. That man is whack from way back. When you talking about Marvin Gaye? Man, yeah, no. Marvin is gay because his gay ass ain't give me shit. I'm Eddie Kendricks. What the hell Marvin Gaye think he doing? Marvin Gaye done got to the top and he knew I was a former temptation and he couldn't do a song with me. You rap niggas sound like hoes. He couldn't put me on. You didn't see when our music was at its best, you didn't get this bitching. When the best artist was the one that had to knock people out the way to get to the top, when there was actual competition in our sound, and the industry had to push the best artists because radio played, that it wasn't no nationally owned conglomerate on radio. There was no, you had to actually, the radio had to play music that people wanted to listen to. All right? Even with peyote, you still had to play what people wanted to listen to. So the artist had to be good. You never heard, like, think about this shit. You never heard back in the day, you didn't hear Ice Cube coming up saying, yeah, Ice-T ain't shit. Ice-T didn't give me no feature. I did it myself. Fuck Ice-T. I'm Ice Cube. You didn't hear Cube say no punk shit like that. Scarface wasn't going around, man, Public Enemy won't let us get all I want is a 16. If I got a 16 with Public Enemy, you know what? I keep telling y'all I'm right, and I've been right. Some of y'all wanted to argue with me. There's a line between pre-96 and post-96. And guys like Young Thug grew up listening to guys like Dame Dash and Cameron and 50 Cent petty ass, Game's petty ass, the petty Negroes that got on at post-96. They're the ones who raised these niggas. We can't talk about these YNs without talking about the niggas that raised them. Look at the niggas that raised Young Thug, the musical class before the Young Thug generation. Look at these niggas. Look at Cameron right now. Cameron can't go a week without beefing with somebody. This nigga put on a suit to act like a 5-year-old. That's why I've been telling y'all forever, man. The 3-piece suit is the uniform of the deceiver. Think about who wears a suit. Politician, liar. Pimp, liar. Preacher, liar. Lawyer, liar. That's why, man, y'all can't be getting deceived by uniforms. You cannot be deceived by uniforms. Just because niggas put on a suit don't mean they about shit. Yeah, my bosses, the suit, and I'm not saying everybody that wears a suit is a deceiver. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, if somebody wants to deceive you, they're probably going to put on a suit. If somebody wants to come off as something that they're not, they're probably going to wear a suit. So you put on a shiny suit, not a shiny suit, but you put on a nice fitting suit to do what? Have other niggas' names in your mouth all day. Think about that, chat room. These niggas put on a suit to gossip about other niggas all day. And I don't care what. Like when I saw Cameron go back at Big Un, for just all for those of you that see former mastermind that put Big that really was behind Biggie's career and brought Cameron into the fold, into music. He talked about the verses that Dipset had with the Locks, and he said something complimentary about Cameron. He said, had he played his music from his first album, he would have wiped the shit clean in New York. But they played that Dipset shit, and you know, at MSG, the people, that's all he said. You know, New York politics kind of talk. And Cameron went replied and started talking about, don't talk about me, nigga. I loaned you $20,000. When I saw him say how much he loaned Big Un, I don't care if you loan him $20. That's the weakest move somebody can make. You give somebody some money and then you go in front of the whole world 20 years later, 5 years later, and tell the whole world what you did. It ain't nothing weaker on earth than that kind of shit. This nigga beefing with niggas, and then you want to bring up how much money you gave somebody? Let me tell y'all something. That don't make you look cool. I know in the moment you thinking I'm big bad boy, I'm rich, I got more money, I got so much money, I can pass to you $20,000. I know in your mind, that's what you think you doing. You think you flexing. You think you flexing. All right, cool. My delivery just came. You think you flexing. You not. You making yourself look weak. Because anyone who gives, and this to anybody else out there who's even thinking about doing some shit like this, anyone who gives, when you give with a string, when you give and with conditions and you hold that over people's head, that's just sorry. I'm like, there's no other way to cut it. That's just sorry. It don't make you look cool. It don't make you look like a boss. It makes you look like a bitch. I'm not calling Cameron a bitch or nothing like that. But what I am saying is that's what it makes you look like. And then when you go over to Dame Dash, y'all have a little bit of y'all going back and forth over some stuff. Look, there's certain people who, when they really put you out there in front of the world like that, it ain't nothing you can say. Just some shit, because it's not like Dame Dash went at his kids and nothing like that. He just, I don't know. I'm looking at Cameron's cards. Cameron is an 8 of spades. Oh, okay. I can see already why Cameron is. See, the 8 of spades, his birthday is February 4th. That's the card of the passive aggressive. The 8 of spades likes to fight. It likes controversy, but it's also very passive aggressive. It wants to smoke, but it don't want to smoke. The 7 of spades want to smoke directly. 8 of spades is more deceptive with the smoke. It wants to smoke, but it wants to be deceptive with it. The smoke ain't gonna come directly to you. The 8 of spades is smiling in your face, and all the time it'd be trying to take your place. The backstabbers. See, because he has an ace of hearts in Mercury, that means he doesn't know how to, the courage to say what he needs to say in front of you just ain't there. He'll say it to other people. 8 of spades is it's a gossipy card. I can see off top why Cam is the way he is. He has a gossipy, the 8 of spades is a very gossipy card. Very indirect. So on one hand, this is why now I try not to judge too hard because everyone's playing their cards out. But even though that's his cards, the reason why, think about this in life, the way your cards are, you're that way. Your detriment that you have in life is something for you to overcome. Like his life spread is to learn that he can be more upfront. He could be more honest in his dealings. But being honest in his dealings as the 8 of spades is a challenge. Because you see right there, they got that 3 of spades right there in Saturn. Yeah. 9 of diamonds. Yeah, his life path is to overcome that. but we can see he hasn't. He's falling to his lower self when he does that, which we all do. We all fall to our lower self. That's why, I like to crack jokes and talk shit, but we all got our challenges. But Cameron, this dude here, I would like, because I don't really watch a show like that, although I do like what him and Mace does. It's just, I'm not as into sports as I used to be. If I were still into sports like I used to be, I would watch this show because they seem to have interesting perspectives on different things in sports. But I don't know if somebody got in his head, whether it be Mark Cuban or whoever else is behind the scenes over there, but maybe somebody in his head said to keep up internet beef, and this is the way to get traction to the podcast. I don't know. But whatever it is, it makes you look like a hoe. And the last thing I want from the OGs of the music that I grew up listening to, and you got Dame Dash going at it with him. You saw that new Drake Iceman bullshit ass. That interview he did, he's talking about Rick Ross, and now Rick Ross is going back at him. Thank God for at least 50 Cent been quiet for the last month or two. Well, no, 50 Cent been sort of quiet ever since people found out that Diddy smutted out his wife. I mean, his ex-girlfriend. That's all it took. Both times, did y'all see? Both times this past summer that 50 tried to come outside with Benzino, and I forgot who else it was. They brought up, Rick Ross. They brought up Diddy smutting out his girlfriend. Oh man, salute to Diddy. Because Diddy smutting out 50 Cent's girl made all of 50 Cent's whining and crying and bitching make sense. Yeah, you got Cameron going up. I didn't even bring up the part about him going up to Omar Gooding. Landon, I appreciate the super chat. Let me go into the cash apps. I got some cash apps. I know Aaron sent me a good one a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you ever heard me say thank you again. Latribia Lawson sent cash app. Appreciate you, Latribia. Williams, much appreciated on the cash app. Milana, T-Mac, Malik, Gabriel. I appreciate all the cash apps. And you can drop your cash app right here at $DewanB1. You had Cameron. How are you getting into it with Wild and Crazy Kids? Omar Gooding was from Wild and Crazy Kids. That was my favorite show on Nickelodeon in 1989, 1990. I was really mad when Wild and Crazy Kids went to Magic Mountain. I wanted to be on that episode, and they had to hold a picture of Kool-Aid while they was on Colossus. Do y'all remember that episode? Anybody? When they was on Wild and Crazy Kids, they had like a picture of like Punch, and they had to hold as much punch as they could in while they were on Colossus at Magic Mountain. That show was my shit when I was a kid. You know? And he played in Baby Boy. Personally, I hated the movie Baby Boy. Even though Baby Boy was filmed where I grew up right down the street from where they filmed Baby Boy, that was filmed in my neighborhood. I hated Baby Boy. Because Baby Boy reminded me of all the chicks that I did not want to be around and all them fake ass hood niggas I didn't want to be around. Everybody in Baby Boy were the people that grew up in the neighborhood that I kept a long distance from. I hated that goddamn movie. You know? So, I get you not liking Omar Gooding if you base it on Baby Boy. I hated Baby Boy. I watched that shit when it first came out in theaters. And then there's one chick I used to fuck around with back in the day. She liked it. I watched it on the DVD when the DVD first came out. And that was the last time I saw that. No, that's not judging, Milton. I'll tell you what judging is. Judging is me thinking you a cornball because your name is Milton. That's something else. I stay away from hood niggas, and I stay away from niggas named Milton. There's nothing, you're not going to have any kind of fun around a nigga named Milton. Back in my single days, you go up to a chick, you and your homeboy, y'all hollering at these two women, and then I be like, yeah, I'm the one, what's your name, blah, blah, blah. And then she be like, what's your name? And you be like, my name is Milton. And she gonna be like, man, get your corny ass away from me. Because your name is Milton. So yeah, I am being judgmental. I'm judging niggas named Milton. Yeah. Like Neely Fuller said, you can't, the way I keep my love for black folks is I stay away from a lot of you niggas. I stay away from niggas that wear suits for no reason because they probably lying. I stay away from niggas named Milton, and I stay away from hood rats. Because if I was around hood rats all day, I would probably hate you niggas. So I keeps my distance from hood rats, shiny suit wearing niggas, and niggas named Milton. As long as I said, that's my formula for keeping my love for black people alive. Staying away from certain types of you niggas. Niggas that cry all the time, like Young Thug. Why you somebody put me on? The minute I hear a nigga cry about somebody, that's the last conversation. It's deceptive than a motherfucker. Don't trust them. They get in fights with niggas named Wild and Crazy Kids ass niggas. And Mr. Wild and Crazy Kids is smoking you at your craft. Brother Cameron, you a rapper. How you letting Wild and Crazy Kids smoke you at your craft? Cannot be, hey, you like, look, these niggas that always want something from you, they're not worth being around. They're not. Because no matter what you do for them, no matter what you do with them, it's going to be a problem. I had somebody that hit me up, was like I got the Hidden History Museum show coming up. And I got all these people coming out the woodworks. DeJuan, why don't you put me on that show? DeJuan, I want to be on your show. And me personally, my years in comedy, especially back when I did it a lot, I never would ask anybody to be on stage more than twice. Usually once. If I really want that stage, I'll ask twice. But I never ask more than twice because you know who I am. You're not going to book me, that's fine. I don't take it personal. That's why I threw my own shows. Throw my own shows, you know? Book myself. My favorite position to be in on the show is hosting. I love hosting. I love hosting comedy shows. So I throw my own show and host it. I ain't tripping. But the part that tripped me out is when the flyer came up for the Hidden History show, I'm back to being everybody's best friend in comedy. Oh, DeJuan, man, let me get some, you gonna put me on? Nigga, you been doing shows for how many years and you ain't put me on nothing? Niggas that been doing shows, promoting they shit, putting on people, on they stuff, and I ain't got put on none of these shows, which I don't trip. That's why I don't go around begging nobody. But if you know that you haven't been reciprocal with me, why the fuck are you talking to me about coming on my show? If you know you've been throwing shows and you never booked me for one of your shows, and now you see I'm throwing a show, hey man, let me tell them to get on. You just like Young Thug. You know damn well you ain't put me on your show. So don't even motherfucking ask when it come to mine. You weird ass niggas. Be telling y'all artists are weird. Artists, comics, rappers, these motherfuckers are weird. Don't buy into the bullshit. But we got the show coming up at the Hidden History Museum. Larry gonna be in town. Scruncho, I saw Scruncho last night at Reggie Carroll's memorial comedy show. My boy B. Wiley, Trina, Sidney Castillo, and me. We're going to have some fun tomorrow at the Hidden History Museum. Gogo says, it's interesting that they can gossip, beef, and pillow talk, but none of them stood up for the culture when Afro-Caribbeans and Latinos came out of the woodwork to lie about hip-hop's origins. Right. Real talk, Gogo. That's real motherfucking talk. They could be Chatty Patties, talk about everybody. He didn't put me on this. He didn't put me on that. And who is he? But when it came time to speak up for the culture, zip, silence, silence. Because y'all are full of New York niggas. So you can still blame half of what's going on in Atlanta on New York. Because Atlanta's been flooded with New Yorkers. The fuck is going on, you NYYNs? What the fuck is going on? I thought gangster rap is what killed hip-hop. Yes, y'all been saying the last 30 years. It was all good until gangster rap came. It was all good until NWA and gangster rap. Oh, okay. So you call this good? Your 50-year-old rappers chatty pattying and talking and crying, and you call that good? Y'all good? Somebody said blame ATL bullshit on New York. Hell yeah, Star. This ain't the my Star. This somebody else. Yes, because Atlanta is full of Jim Jones, New York, and Dipset. You got 50 Cent going at everybody, New York. You got Dame Dash going at Cameron, New York. All the old niggas is the New York niggas, but not the original class in New York. Not the talented New York class of the 80s and the early 90s. Not them. LL Cool J is good. Nas is good. You know, all the niggas is good. The older cats that was around in New York in 88, 93, they good. But these post-95 whack niggas that came in with the shiny suits, y'all trouble. Yeah, Carl, late 90s New York. Not original New York. Not original New York, no. Rakim, they're above this bullshit. Q-Tip, they're above this. We're talking about 95 and on. Those niggas that was new in 96, 97. We're talking about them. That influence on Atlanta. Most definitely. They bring that. Atlanta is a place of unity. The pre-Olympics Atlanta. A place of the Atlanta brothers. They fuck with the West. They fuck with the North. They fuck with the Midwest. Atlanta non-biased. Atlanta gave us the Goody Mob, Organized Noise, the SOS Band. You know, Atlanta, you know, the real Atlanta is, they gave us Brick, Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody, Get On Down. Atlanta gave us a lot of good shit. The LaFace era Atlanta, we're in the Nine of Hearts year. It's going to play out. I told y'all my reading for the year that this Nine of Hearts year is people on the same team duking it out. Come on, Hubs, come on. We gotta really keep talking. We gotta stay on this. We gotta make sure that we're the adults in the room and we're calling out the bullshit, even when the bullshit is coming from those older than us. Cameron, Dipset, all the niggas is older than me. But this shit, you know, as long as it's going on, it can't be seen as normal or seen as cool. Somebody in the chat mad to the motherfucker. Hey, dude in the chat is mad. You talking in all caps is making you look like Young Thug. Stop. You look weird. Calm down. We don't take what you have to say serious enough for you to be typing in all caps. Just relax. If you're in the chat typing in all caps, relax. That's what it is. Biz Martin said hip hop needs an enema. But, you know, somebody in the chat said that earlier, more singing. Oh, yeah, Milton said it. See, Milton said something cool. That's a good, real talk, Milton. Singers are, more singers is what's needed. The most definitely. And that's part of the cleaning out process. Like I've told you guys before, hip hop, rap music was always a side dish. Rap music was never meant to be the main course. We've always rapped. Cap Calloway would have rap breakdowns in his music. All the way, Louis Jordan, James Brown, Pigmeat Markham, the Jubilaires and gospel quartets. Rap breakdowns have been around as long as we've been speaking English. Okay? But that was always a side dish because the healing comes from the singing. And that's why even during hip hop's golden era from 88 to 96, rhythm and blues was still king. Rhythm and blues was still king up until rhythm and blues started whispering. When R&B started whispering and started bringing in these singers that didn't give us healing through their voices, they was giving us sounds. That opened the door for hip hop to move on, along with budgets at record labels that cut R&B budgets and put them in the hip hop budgets. It wasn't until the total dumbing down of rhythm and blues that hip hop got to the front. Yeah, a lot of people prefer R&B over hip hop when R&B is done right. B. Amos, you're right. The issue is mainstream R&B hasn't been done right in over 20, 25, 30 years. They stopped doing mainstream R&B right back in the 90s. You can still find good R&B. Bands like Butcher Brown put out some good, their jazz band, but they put some good R&B stuff out. You know, Anderson .Paak. Brandy Younger, she's a harpist, but she has some good R&B tracks. Robert Glasper, Terrence Martin, Alex Isley. You know, there's still a lot of good R&B out there, just not pushed. The mainstream pushes this. And most people are passive listeners. They're going to listen to what's put in front of them. They're not going to go dig through the crates. But I'll tell you this much, though. Even though the R&B guys may not be selling as much, even though they don't have the same level of they're not talked about in the blogs as much, they doing a hell of a lot better live. The R&B niggas, even the ones that aren't being mentioned, it ain't no rap dude going to sell. I went to go this past summer, this past July, I went to go see Sir. Sir headlined a show at the Hollywood Bowl. He's not a mainstream nothing in the mainstream, but Sir at the Hollywood Bowl had 15,000 people there. It's not going to be too many rappers that don't have a mainstream crossover hit that's going to be able to do that. All right. Well, thank y'all again for listening. I'm about to get up out of here. We'll probably do a late night live. I told you I was going to do one last night, but I had to get on stage last night. This past Tuesday when I got on stage, my set was trash. So I had to get back on stage last night to get that comedy muscle working again so I can get ready for October 4th at the Hidden History Museum. All right. Thank y'all again for listening. There are no perfect messengers. Only perfect message is for those willing to pick up the game. You got to go to my Patreon for the good artists. B. Amos. I put the new artists up. I have playlists that I update consistently on Patreon. So you have to go to my modern contemporary R&B playlist. You'll find some good artists on Patreon. All right. You have a good one.